it's a beautiful day here in the UK. Sun is shining, and it would be very nice to just sit outside with the radio and do some listening. Now, I'm lucky enough that in a few weeks I'll be off to the Greek island of Corfu for a holiday. First foreign holiday I've had since lockdown, so 3 years. Of course, being a keen shortwave listener, I'm going to take some radio equipment with me. Now, I could take something, I guess, like this 2001D Sony. It's a little bit heavy, so actually I won't be taking this, although it's a lovely receiver. But what will I take? It's got to be something I can maybe take down to the beach, down to the seafront, do a bit of listening in the evenings, and maybe have a tune around the AM medium wave band as well as FM locally. So let's have a look at the options, and we'll go through what I could take, and then I'll show you what I've decided to take. So first up, why did I discount the ICF2001D? Well, it's quite a large receiver. It's substantially heavy, and it would impact on the weight restrictions that you have when you're travelling abroad. I wouldn't like to carry it in hand luggage, purely because of the weight. And also, this is quite an old radio. It's relatively fragile, and I really don't want to be ruining it by lugging it around on holiday. So 2001D for me is not going anywhere. Now, if weight and size wasn't an issue, this Texan S8800, it would be really nice to take away. It's got good shortwave coverage, receives single sideband. It doesn't mute on tuning. It seems very good on the medium wave AM band, which is great when you're in a different location to be able to tune around on that band. And it's also quite sensitive on FM broadcast band as well. But it's just too bulky. It's not as heavy as a 2001D, but it's too heavy. So this one isn't going with me either. Here's a radio that has accompanied me abroad on previous trips, the Sony ICF7600. It's compact. It's relatively lightweight. It's reasonably robust. Works very well. It tunes single sideband. It's pretty good on the AM medium wave broadcast band. It's pretty sensitive on FM band too, FM broadcast band, and it's good on shortwave. But this time, this radio isn't going with me. So at the end of the day, it was a choice between 3 radios for me to take on my holiday. Got the Texan PL330. It's got a nice clear display. I quite like the way it tunes, although it does mute on tuning. But I quite like the tuning and volume controls on the side here. Covers AM. It's quite good on AM medium wave. Again, FM band 2 broadcast. Quite sensitive. Tunes fine on shortwave, although it does of course have the muting when you're tuning. You can live with that. It's very compact, very, very lightweight. Very portable little radio. Then of course we've got the D808, or XH Data as it's also known, D808. With this, it's very similar to the PL330. It's good on medium wave. It's good on band 2 FM. And it works well enough on shortwave. Again, mutes on tuning. Not overly keen on the tuning knob on this one. It's very notchy. Once you get used to it, it's okay. The PL330 is similarly notched, but it just seems a little easier to tune. So that's the D808. D808 has RDS on FM band 2, which I find very, very useful when you're away and you try to identify stations that you're not familiar with. And finally, we have the Belka DX. Now, we all know the Belka. It's basically, this one is shortwave only. It covers from 1.5 megs up to 30, all mode. No muting on tune, lovely clear display. I'll just power this one up for a second and we see the display. This display's beautifully visible at night time or in daylight, bright sunlight, doesn't matter. Very good audio from it, particularly if you use a set of headphones. It's very tolerant of external antennas, so a reel out wire on this would work very well. Limitations, as I say, this one doesn't have medium wave, the newer ones do, but even so, you'd still need an additional antenna because medium wave's not going to work too well on a telescopic. This one, of course, like all Belkas, doesn't have band 2 FM, so you basically it's a shortwave only, very nice to tune. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to take the Belka and I'm going to take a reel out wire, and hopefully we'll have some fun with the Belka. But I'm also going to take the D808 rather than the PL330, and there's one main reason for this, but there's also an additional little reason. Although I prefer actually tuning around on the 330, the D808 has RDS, and I'm going to use an RDS to identify foreign stations when I'm away. Okay, so the RDS is going to be useful to me. Now, just like the 330, of course, you take these away with you. They can double as an alarm clock. There's a sleep timer on there and so on, so they can be useful in other ways. But the FM RDS is the deal breaker for this one going with me. Of course, it also has airband, which the Texan 330 does not have. The PL330 doesn't have airband. So it might be useful. You're in a holiday location. Might be interesting to listen to some of the aircraft. It's something extra. If you don't use it, you don't use it. But for medium wave and band 2 FM, it's going to be the D808. And of course, it's perfectly, you could just use this. It's perfectly capable of tuning shortwave. You can resolve SSB signals with it. But just for the tiny little bit of extra weight, I'm going to take the Belka as well, and that's a pleasure to tune on shortwave. So these two are going to be my holiday companions. I don't know what you think, but I think that's the best choice. Belka DX, Sewardon D808. Thanks for watching.